Hello Sagittarius, and happy birthday, happy belated birthday, and happy upcoming birthday. My name is Kat. This is your December reading, and we are going to pull a card for a sign off to 2021. If you guys are not on my social media, or if you're not on my mailing list, just get yourself on it so you can get a little bit extra for reading for kind of like flavor of 2021. All right, so let's see what is December bringing up for you. We are going to start with, whoa, Ace of Fire. There is like a passion coming through. Maybe there are things happening from the past, maybe things that you wanted and you kind of like really didn't achieve before. Now you're reinventing yourself. Maybe this can sometimes talk a hookup with your past partner. Oh my God. Maybe this could mean simply kind of like feeling stronger in a relationship, because Earth Queen is coming next. So this is Ace of Wands, and here we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it could mean putting somebody on a pedestal, or it could mean finding a partner who finally really wants to feel comfort. It's kind of like comfort over passion at this stage, but it's not that you are sacrificing passion either. Maybe something felt being in the rut, and now like you're feeling replenished again about it. There's like something new happening, but it's almost like born out of the old. You have Three of Earth here as well, which can talk about collaboration. It can mean a teamwork, especially if you have a family. You're going to feel that pieces are coming together, that things are doable, that things are workable of some sort, right? It can really talk about also expertise. That can talk about possibly a work situation where at work maybe you get promotion, or you are really being observed how you really deal with the others. So these pentacles that are really coming through in this, like, a basic cross, it's really telling me that feeling grounded is going to be very, very important. It's very tricky. It's going to be very tricky for you, because we are starting, as of today, there is like a Mercury in there is a Mercury in Sagittarius, and then on the 15th it's going to be Venus in Sagittarius. On the 14th we have eclipse in Sagittarius. It's almost like somebody's rocking your boat all the time and is asking you to feel solid about it, right? So you really will need to kind of firmly stick to your principles, and that's going to be really the keynote this month. Nine of Fire. It's really interesting. Nine of Fire, and then we have Ace of Fire. So something has shifted for you, clearly. You're walking into this month with some kind of like promise. Maybe you are waiting until your birthday, and then if something doesn't happen, if something doesn't pan out, off you go, kind of a thing. You really want to see commitment. You really want to see that other people are on board with something, that you're understood, that you're accepted. Maybe you're kind of like done with the stage of battling people, because I can see here arguments here maybe in the past. I can see lots of people kind of like having their input, and maybe you have listened, and maybe you have processed right now, and you're kind of like shifting in a new direction. And there's like Seven of Earth. Again, is that Earth. Look at this Earth theme continues, because it looks like that was like that fire from the past, which kind of like created that initial action, because fire is action. But here, this is now talking about that germination phase. You need to really be patient. Things are clearly going to happen. The Mousy is going to come through. When? That's a question, right? There's like, also look at this, like we have a 7 and 3, it's a 10. 10 is like a motion forward, just like this one. There is like something that is really, really going on, but almost like I'm also feeling that impatience. And as I said, it's going to be really, really hard for you, particularly this month, which is your birthday month, which is usually where we get more energy. Sun is in your sign, like you are getting all of these rays, and spotlight is on you, and yet you have to be holding back and feeling modest and doing all of that stuff. It kind of like feels like it's not right, it's my time, I really want to do this. Then you have Consequences over here. This is a karma card. This card suggests that things are coming in balance. This can also talk about the marriage. some aspect of a marriage. The Earth Queen is also talking about a married person. It's a general one, so it could be both men or female, whatever is important to you. There are some kind of considerations about it. Maybe it was like some tricky situation that you need to resolve. In any case, this usually suggests that things are actually falling back in place the way they should be. Right? Maybe this is it. You said to yourself, maybe I owe something a chance. Maybe you're like reconnecting with an old partner. Maybe maybe old partner is trying to connect with you. But there is the Tower. It's kind of weird. Like you clearly have something in your head. You have aspect of your life which you really want to live. But there is like still that phase, almost like that you have been placed in a situation that you need to do things slowly. When usually I see Earth in a fire sign reading, it's kind of slowing down your energy, like it's just somebody's holding you back. You know, when people usually hold you back, don't run on the street, they hold you back, right? It's kind of like to save you. It's kind of to protect you. But you don't like it. You don't like to feel saved. You don't like to feel protected. You're the one who is the leader. You're the one who wants to move forward. Be careful. Because if you do, the Tower shows up. And Tower, like, remember how I said things are falling in balance? And this is literally things falling out of balance. Things kind of like going all over the place. For you, it's going to be happening after the 15th. Actually, after 15 plus minus 5 days. And it can be a clearly situation that you need to rebuild. You cannot, maybe you want to kind of revive something, but it cannot be revived where you left it off. It needs to be repaired, right? There is like something that is not playing the right tune anymore. In spite of the appearances, in spite of people saying, well, I'm going to change, or maybe you saying I'm going to change, it's not going to happen. Tower is falling in your own house, which means that's that really importance of that eclipse on the 14th, where we will break free of, you are sometimes guilty of being know-it-all, right? You are sometimes guilty of needing to be right and possible being told you're egoistic. All of that is going to be off the table. It's almost like you're ripping your soul apart and saying, this is all kind of Chucky doll. I don't want to be a Chucky doll. I need to put it properly. And I want to love this new creation. So it's going to be all about the justice and fairness and ethics and support that is really, really happening over here, right? And somebody is, maybe you're waiting on somebody, right? That's kind of like what I'm getting from these two cards. There's like this waiting, but there's somebody who is not coming through. Somebody is their own situation. Somebody is their own protective spiritual box. Maybe they have to resolve their own fears. Look at this Siamese kitty. It's freaking freaked out. Like the bats are coming from the top. Like there's the rain coming. And like I'm in a kitty stuck. The only way out of this is be very strategic and make a really, really small waves and small parts, so that way you can actually wiggle out. If you start kind of like erratically kind of like moving around, you might end up hurt, right? So there's like somebody who is who is thinking of you, and there is like some kind of connection, but there was like also some kind of like darkness that kind of connected to it as well. So this is 8 and this is a 9 and you have a 7. So there's a lots of these things that are kind of like being taken out of the mothballs from the past, something that has been protected or sedated, or maybe you shuffled it under the carpet, and there's like somebody who is not coming through. But I need to tell you, they're not coming through, not because they don't want to. They're like tangled up. We can see it here, the motive, and we can see here the motive. There is like some kind of like entanglement. Could be a legal entanglement of some kind of like sorts as well. And then this is you coming through. You really need to step in your own shoes. You really need to be authentic. You guys need to check my video on the Great Conjunction to really see how this is going to push you through. It's now moving from Earth, as we can see it here, to air, which we can see it here. And air is your sister element. Earth is kind of like neutral for you, kind of like, you know, like two ships in a night kind of passing by each other. But when it comes to air, air makes this like fire go very, very high. The tower is also representing Mars, so that's really, really lots of fire. It's also very phallic. It could be some kind of like attraction of some sort, but clearly it's not necessarily something that is easy to get through, but it's clearly something that's going to be extremely beneficial for you for the future. So there is like this kind of like finding that sweet spot and finding things that really work. And there is like that soulmate kind of like a thing happening. So maybe there is like something quality, there's something that is a quality born out of the shadows, out of the burns, or simply something that started like a passion that you have been passionate and patient enough that is now basically going in the next direction. So for you, I think the Mercury and the communication might improve, kind of like how you relate to the other people and what you really want to say. Maybe you need to speak your own heart out, and that could be like for you happening as early as December 2nd. However, around the 14th, which kind of like is coming through, it's going to be culmination of many things really, really happening. So it's going to be really important. I want to check the tower, really get some little bit more information over here. And you cannot even see my little proppy deer with the antlers over here. You see, it's like there's like a situation that there are possibly two people. Prison to me sometimes mean marriage. Prison means sometimes being, again, very similar over here. Maybe it's either you or somebody that is stuck in a situation that currently cannot be resolved. And this is why maybe you're getting this patience suggestion. It's kind of really interesting in this card. If you really look at it, there is like this urn or vase over here, and I have to wonder why in the world would they put it here. Like nothing in those kind of like fortune telling cards is like made like as a fluke, right? So this clearly talks about something, like if you played a video game, there's like something there that you need to look at it. What is it hiding there, right? So keep in mind that there is like the situation of some kind of like walls. There is like not something that is really easily solvable. So it could be shame, could be guilt, could be fear, could be regret, could be loneliness of some kind of like sort. And they're like very complex emotions that really need to kind of like be faced. And that's what Tower makes you do it. It's not asking you anymore, hey, come on, let's do things, let's go through the therapy. Nope, it just makes you do it, right? So it's really interesting because that also talks about some kind of possible closures. And kind of like maybe it's going to be inside of some kind of like misunderstandings that might come through it. Could be definitely some kind of concerns, but the Tower, this kind of shocking situation, is literally going to help you combat all your own fears. Once when you face them, the whole veil of, oh my goodness, what's happening is going to be over. You're not going to be feeling that way anymore. Guys, don't forget to check the Great Conjunction video. It's just like a few extra minutes, but it's going to tell you this shift and how to really prepare yourself for it, and you can fit it in your plans. But now let's see the sign off for this year and entrance to the next year. Woo, you have coming apart. Is it maybe that there is like somebody in your heart that's the one that got away, kind of a thing that we are dealing here with? It's not that you are not giving a chance over here. So let's see, what is this all about? Let me read it for you. Now it is the time to take separate paths. The coming apart card is a sign to put an end to what is no longer working for you. Has a commitment been broken? Perhaps you need to break a promise or change course because you took on more than you could handle. This is a perfect time to assess your goals and values. Are your actions in alignment with what you believe in? Have you created a partnership that's not mutually beneficial? Separation, dissolution, and dispersion are all in focus now. If someone wishes to break away from you, don't chase the relationship out of a sense of fear. The price you will pay will not be worth the prize. Separation brings good fortune. It's almost like sounds like I Ching. Separation brings good fortune, because this is, I told you, it was something about marriage. This could simply mean to me that you have maybe tried to repair something and it's becoming self-evident that things are not doing well. So you're promising yourself to be very authentic and to kind of like look for your soulmate, and the soulmate is on the horizon if that's what you want. Maybe the soulmate is also in a kind of similar situation, and that's why it's going to be more of a soulmate, because of understanding very well the situation you can find yourself in. So my dear Sagis, please join me on my social media, so that way you can also get the video that is going to be sent for 2021 kind of general ideas and where we are heading, but only going to be to those subscribers. If you want a reading from me, contact me via catchtarot.ca. And if you are a past client of mine, you can order an annual forecast, which is an hour and a half long. It's really encompassing from quarterly predictions to everything in all astrological houses, so you will know every segment of your life, how the chips will fall. And then also I'm adding Lenormand, and Lenormand is giving you a little bit of a timeline and kind of like all of these chips to know exactly when, and that would clearly help, and that way it's kind of like much easier to go through that roadmap. So guys, have an interesting December. You are really kind of like giving your all, that I can tell. You still need to be a little bit more patient. But I wish you Merry Christmas, and I wish you Happy New Year. Guys, everything is almost done. Brace yourself around the 16th, and then it's going to be the new beginning, that the great conjunction. Check it out. Love you guys. All the best.